And yet today, in 2020, not a single country can stand and declare that they have achieved full and comprehensive gender equality. The point is this: we have a lot of work to do, and we need to continue shining the light on the key issues that relegate women to second-class citizens in different parts of the world. And so to kick us off this morning, it is a pleasure for me to welcome the Director for Capital Markets from the JSE Group, Madame Zanele Morrison, who is going to give us an official welcome from the JSE. Can we give her a round of applause, please?
We come in all shapes and sizes. I love hearing your voice. Every time you speak, you remind me of just the glorious work that we do as women, and I love the way we sound. I'm Zanele Luhabe Morrison, and I'm the Director of Marketing and Corporate Affairs. Much better job and much more fun than the Director of Capital Markets. Because I get to do this. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to welcome you to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and we are honored to have you here today. You stand on top of the engine that runs the economy, and we literally stand on it, by the way. It is down in the basement. So we are honored not only to have you here today, but we are honored that Dr. Precious Moloi, when you have to actually say it, then you think and then your brain just freezes. Dr. Precious Moloi Motsepe, thank you so much for choosing us again. We're going to do this as a tradition. I hope you never move. If you do, I'll fetch you. President Motlanthe and Mrs. Motlanthe, today we are also honored that they've honored us with their presence and their thoughts. Minister Maite Ngwane Mashabane, we are so honored to see you again. Premier Sisi Ndombela, thank you for gracing us at the JSE. Dr. Bigela Thomas from the UN, we also want to say thank you so much for being here today. And the CEOs and the women leaders who've come through the JSE, we want to thank you for being here. First of all, I would like to thank the Motsepe Foundation for the partnership they've given us over the years, a very passionate foundation that meets us at our own passion on the topic of women and gender. At the JSE over the years, we have grabbed this challenge really by the horns to ensure that gender equality rolls out, and it rolls out from us and across all various business elements. Here at the JSE, 5 out of the 8 executives are women, and that's 62.5%. 211 of our 397 staff are women. That's 53.5%. And 67 of the JSE's limited board is also female. And our CEO is female, Dr. Leila Fourie. And our chairman is female, and that is Nongulego Nyembezi Heita. So we're doing well, aren't we? Yeah. And I can tell you, for the financial services sector, this is no small achievement. So, and it really has changed, and I've worked in many financial institutions. You will not believe how different it sounds, how different it feels, and how we are so collaborative and cooperative. It really changes the culture. Diversity is important, ladies and gentlemen. It is important. So when we ring the bell for gender, as I was sleeping last night, I thought to myself, who do we ring the bell for? Do we ring the bell for ourselves? And I think the answer is yes. And I remembered many years ago when I entered the EY, working as a senior manager, a young woman at reception, she talked about how she admired us, and she talked about how she admired my mother-in-law, and she really sees her as a role model, and she kept on going on and on and on, which often happens to me, unfortunately, I think. And I asked her about herself. She wakes up at about 5 o'clock, but she has to be out of the house by 5:30 to drop off her child at the neighbors to come to work. It takes her about an hour and a half to get there. She's the last one to leave because she checks us in and she checks us out when we come in. And she's a single mom. She lives with her parents. And when I thought of it, I thought I would ring the bell for her. we tend to think we need to ring the bell for people who've done amazing things, who are in magazines, on television, who've achieved great things. But there are so many women every day who wake up and take their kids to school. So today I hope that we can ring the bell for every single woman who's making a difference in raising a girl child or a boy child by themselves and doing it really well. On that note, welcome to the JSE. Please stay and enjoy, and our lovely host can come next.
Thank you very much, Zanele. Yes, indeed, we are here to ring the bell for every single woman who is doing her bit wherever she is to make a difference in not only her own life, but her family's life, and subsequently in the life of her community, and oftentimes in the life of those who make up her entire society. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a ticking countdown behind me before markets open at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to call on a few more speakers, and I'm going to be a little bit more tougher and ask that we all keep within the time so we can really open the markets at 9 o'clock on the dot. It's a pleasure for me to introduce to you the president of the Black Business Council, who's with us here today, and that is Mr. Sandile Zungu. And I'm going to ask him, as one of the gentlemen who have been a beacon of light in terms of men ensuring that the issue of women isn't a woman's issue, but a humanity issue, if he could come and just say a few words on behalf of business, and we'll then come up and hear from Dr. P after that. Let's give Sandile a round of applause.
Thank you so much for the invitation to share a word or two on behalf of the Black Business Council. All protocols observed, Ambassador, Minister, Precious, Moloi Motsepe, and honored guests. As a Black Business Council, we've just emerged from 2 days of summiting, discussing a whole lot of issues that bedevil black business. Over the last 2 days, we also launched very boldly at a prime time of our summit what we call the gender agenda. We are being pushed by our own women who are in leadership to take this matter of gender equality very seriously. Not just gender equality, but also gender advancement. And we are very proud to say, as an organization, we embrace it fully. Let's be put to a test. Words sometimes can charm people, but let's be put to a test in terms of how we practice it. We embrace it fully otherwise. And what the Motsepe Foundation is doing here is highly commendable. They are a beacon of light, and we stand fully behind them. And we hope that the movement that is gaining a lot of momentum will grow from strength to strength. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zungu. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a special guest who is on the run, but I think I'm going to impose on her and ask her to please just come and say hello to us. She is the Group CEO of the JSE, Dr. Leila Fourie. Can we give her a big round of applause, please?
Thank you so much, and I'm not going to take up much time. I just really wanted to say what an incredible and deep privilege it is to be associated with so many exceptional women. I've actually just come from another event on the other side of the building, and it's wonderful to see the number of women who are coalescing and coming together. When I took the decision to come back to South Africa, one of the biggest advantages for me was that the women of Africa have spirit, and they have an enormous amount of energy, and they're going places, and that's wonderful to experience. That said, we have a lot to do in our country to further the purpose of women. Women CEOs in South Africa are less than 5%. They're 3.2% of all CEOs are women. I was at a function last night. There were 30 people 28 were men, and I was the only guest who was a woman, and they were all CEOs. And that was a stark reality for me of how important it is for us to join together and to support one another, co-support one another to be more successful. So it's a great privilege to be here, and I'd like to thank everybody who's organized, and particularly Precious for everything that she's done to further the rights of women through her initiatives.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fourie. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to be long. I'd like you to please welcome, with a resounding round of applause, to please help me welcome Dr. Precious Motsepe to please come and give us her remarks.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, how nice it is to say "and gentlemen" on International Women's Day. So let's give a round of applause for the brave gentlemen who are here with us. I keep saying to my husband and my 3 sons that gender equality is everybody's business. It is all our business. We have a duty, a moral duty, to ensure that men and women can enjoy the opportunities in the social sphere, in the economic sphere, in the political sphere, and in health and in education. All of us have a right to access all those things. And if you truly believe that is the right thing for your daughter, for your mother, for your sister, then you should care about gender equality. So I was going to give my speech. I cannot do that now because we have more important people than myself who are leading us in terms of gender equality. All I want to say to you is, please make this Sustainable Development Goal number 5, gender equality, which is so critical for us to achieve all the other goals, an important goal to achieve. For the sake of those young people standing over there, for the sake of those young girls and boys standing over there, it is important that we move forward and close that gender gap. We only have 10 years, according to the World Economic Forum, and there is 135 years if we keep going at the pace that we're going, and that's totally unacceptable. So thank you very much for waking up so early to join us here to make this a meaningful day. 73 stock exchanges throughout the world are celebrating over the next few days, and I'm so proud that the Johannesburg Stock Exchange has made this an important day. So thank you so much for joining us, and I'm going to ask Nozipo to come back on podium to call the minister. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, every now and then in our lifetime we come across women who are warriors in the sense that everything they touch it with a fearlessness that moves things, that challenges systems, that deconstructs systems, and builds new societies altogether. It is a pleasure for us to welcome our minister to give us her opening remarks this morning. We have known her to be a fearless fighter, using the tools of policy in every portfolio that she has looked after in the Republic of South Africa. And this morning, we put our hands together with a resounding applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Minister Maite Nkwane Mashabane.
Well, Program Director, Dr. Motsepe, Mayor Bekele Thomas, all dignitaries in the room, and our special brother, President of the BBC, and all protocol observed. What a day. I now know why Madam CEO of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, why, even as we talk, even as men lament, or South Africans, about recession, this institution is standing because of the women who run this institution. Let's start at home. If you want a home, to remain standing, bring a woman. Give a woman 5 cents. When you come back by end of the day, it will be 20 rand. So this is us. This is South African women. We put the rest of the country first, starting with our own children, our families, our country, and ourselves last. But where you find women, you will find that there is people who shine. There's a lot we can be proud of. There's a lot that we can still say we can do more. Dr. Precious, as I was entering this building this morning, I was thinking of a very painful experience we had in 2006 in Hamburg. We were going to celebrate Socialist International Women's centenary celebration. It was to be throughout Germany in that particular spot because they said 100 years before they had majority MPLs women, more than 11. 100 years later, they only had one instead of 11, because women thought they had arrived and things would be okay. Here, we do not have time to waste. Here, we do not have 100 years to do things 1 year at a time. We are a nation in a hurry. Gender, agenda, generation, equality is a business of every woman, particularly the ones you said we should celebrate tonight and this morning. Those who juggle roles, who juggle balls, who look after children, who take care of the livelihood of a family, but still stand up and be counted. Let's give a round of applause for those women. You see, being a South African woman doesn't say if you're a minister, you can't cook, you can't take care of the children, you can't make sure that they have had breakfast, that they have gone to school, that they've done their homeworks, but that they also shine and get A's at school. Financial inclusion is a new catchword, which our president, amongst the 5 presidents in the world, had signed on voluntarily. Not empowerment, financial inclusion. Because through that, nazawavula masango, women will not just be working for, they will also have cash in their hands. So forward with financial inclusion, starting from here at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange forward.
Minister, I'm going to ask you to stay because I'm going to invite onto the stage, and maybe you can come in the front. I can see, ladies and gentlemen, we all have our visual cues. I'm going to ask Dr. P. I'm going to ask Leila, I'm going to ask Zanele to please come. I'm going to ask members of the IWFSA, Dr. Rejoice, our learners, our UNDP and UN resident coordinator, all our special guests. Please, can you come and join us on stage? Leila, please make sure that you're on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, you are a part of this moment. You will notice on your tables are bells. And so, in our last minute, allow me to say this. We're going to see the countdown together. Remember this. The louder you shout and the louder you ring your bell, the better the markets will perform today. Okay, do we have a deal? All right? So, we're going to start counting down shortly. Do we have the kudu horn close by? And of course, we're going to have a big blowing of the horn. So ladies and gentlemen, you'll start counting with me from 15. Shall we do that? From 15? 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Officially open. Dr. Pete, did you blow the horn? Did we hear it? Let's blow. Let's give a round of applause as she blows the horn. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, a big, big round of applause, please. And of course, there is an international sign that we've got to observe today. I've got two small formalities. The one is that may we all in this room join the global community in saluting the significance of International Women's Day. And so let's maybe take that moment first. And I believe this is our sign. So our friends in the media, I hope that you are capturing this moment. And we're going to hold this magnificent posture at least for another 10 seconds, just acknowledgement of how much work still needs to be done and that we're here to do that work. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Before we disperse, one last request. May I ask Dr. Fourie to please assist us with handing over this token of appreciation from the JSC group. Dr. Fourie, over to you.